Good morning, everyone. It's Lori Staley, Addicted Stamper with Stampin' Up, and it is Thursday morning at 10, so it is time for coffee and cards. If you are on, give me a shout out, a like or a love. Let me know you're here. I'm just kind of setting some things up while you're hopping on. I think I am going to grab a bottle of water because I got a tickle this morning. Good morning, Valerie. Hi, Thelma. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. All right. I cannot believe we are almost at the end of June. Tomorrow's the last day. It's crazy. That's just crazy. And July 4th is right around the corner. And that's even crazier because that's always like the midpoint of summer. And I feel like I haven't even recognized that it's summer yet. All right. Excuse me. So we'll do a little housekeeping while you guys are hopping on, and then we're going to get into the projects. So last 2 days to take advantage of the Designer Series paper special. That does end at 11:59 tomorrow night. So if you have not grabbed your papers to play with or that you've fallen in love with at the discount, make sure you do that. There's a 15% discount on everything with the exception of the specialty designer papers. And those are the ones that have like the foil or the special effects in. And what I call the basic color packets, right? The 6x6, brights, neutrals, regals, subtles, and the in color packets. So those are the ones that are not on sale. Everything else is on sale, 15% off, including the delightfully eclectic pack, which is the 12x12 48 sheet pack. So that's a great time to grab that. And I got to tell you, the more I play with that pack, the more I love it. Lots of fun patterns in there to play with. And of course, I think probably two of the other favorites that we seem to be selling quite a bit of is the Countryside Inn and the Bright and Beautiful, which is the birthday paper, right? And we're going to play just one of the cards I'm making today is going to use the Inked Botanicals, but I love that one as well. Nice, soft, almost sketchy patterns to it, right? So that's lots of fun. So grab that. Also, that starter kit promotion ends tomorrow night at 11:59 as well. If you are thinking about doing this, I encourage you not to wait until 11:59 tomorrow night, simply because if you do have a problem when you're doing the registration to get the starter kit and Stampin' Up is closed, that's a problem, right? So they close at 7 p.m. Eastern time. If you're somewhere else in the country, you can do the math there. But I would try to do that before 7 p.m. tomorrow night if you are thinking about grabbing that fabulous deal. And then, of course, come July 6th, we're going to have the online exclusives refreshed. There's lots of good things out there. There's a stamp set out there that I never saw. So I don't know when they put that up. Somehow I missed it. It's a really good one. So if you like more religious type sayings for Christmas, that's a really good set that's already out there. Go to my online store, click shop now, and then go down through the menu and you'll see an online exclusives section that you can click on and see everything that's in the online exclusives. Of course, if you watched my YouTube video on Tuesday, you saw me design with the horse and sleigh bundle. Absolutely love that bundle. Can't wait to do more with it. Speaking of that bundle and that collection of products, remember too, registration is still open. And thank you to those of you that have already registered and sent payment for the Double Down Saturday classes, right? So the one class is a Stamp-A-Stack. Uh-oh, there's a loose, oh, it came off of here. The Double Down Saturday, one is a Stamp-A-Stack. I'll get it. These are the 4 cards that we'll be making, and you are going to receive a full pack, 48 sheets of that beautiful Designer Series paper that I'm featuring on those cards, right? So these are the scenic papers that are part of that collection. In case you haven't seen them, I'll flip through them real quick. Love, love, love them. Love the wood grains. We have 2 different wood grains in there. Beautiful scenery. Little deer. I love that one. So cute. Oops, wait, did I not flip a couple of those? I think I didn't. Some misty moonlight, some mossy meadow. Pool party. pecan pie, which for some reason I have started calling cinnamon cider. I don't know, that might have been wishful thinking. I'm not sure. Just really, really pretty colors. So you're going to get a full pack, 48 sheets. Now you are going to use all 4 sheets of the patterns for these cards because you're making 4 of each of these designs. So this pattern, this one, and this one you will be using up in the class. But you can always buy more. I do encourage you, in addition to that, I do encourage you to get more. And you're going to get a pack of the new snowflakes, adhesive back snowflakes in the copper, gold, and iridescent white. And you're going to receive one of the brand new Stampin' Up basic black markers with the bullet tip. So excited to share those items with you in that class. That class is $32 if you're paying via check or cash, $35, I believe, if you're paying with PayPal. I will try to link the registration in the description when we are done with the video today. The other class that I'm offering is the frame art class, right? The Christmas frame art class. And how cute is this, right? You receive the frame, you receive all the supplies, all the materials are cut for you, and you're going to get a full pack of the festive pearls or the red and green pearls, depending upon where you read the description. Hi, Betty, thank you. You're also, I thought we retired this, but we didn't, but I did say that you were going to get this gold trim. So I will give you the gold trim instead of the gold from the Simply Elegant trim. So you'll get a full roll of the gold trim and you're going to get about 40 of the red rhinestones. That did retire, but I grabbed a couple packs before it went away, knowing I was planning to do this. So everything that can be will be die cut for you. This is available to go, as is the Stamp-A-Stack, or in person on July 15th. The hours are 9 to 2:30. You can come and do one or both classes, but you do need to be done by 2:30. Hi, Connie. Thank you for sharing. Thanks for sharing, guys. Good morning, Carol. So if you're interested in this, the registration will also be posted for that. Registration does close on July 5th. Why does it close on July 5th when we're not doing the class until the 15th? Because I am going to be staying up to order on July 6th. I do not want the products to sell out. If you are loving anything or want to see everything that is available, you want to order early on July 6th. There is a little red pickup truck. Well, it's not red. There's a little pickup truck punch coming, I'm assuming with a coordinating stamp set. And I'm guaranteeing you it's going to sell out. Like when we got a sneak picture of it somewhere, it was seen online, it went viral. So yeah, we definitely need to grab that truck if you want it, because I'm sure it's going to sell out and I have no idea how long or if it will return. That's the one thing about online exclusives. Sometimes we cannot reorder them. So if you want it, you want to be there bright and early to grab it. Okay, and then the last thing that's happening in June, right? You still have a day or two to place your minimum $35 product order to earn this month's Just Cards. And we've got a little fun fold action going on here with the Zoo Crew. So cute. You can't even pick it up. Hope that's not indicative of how my hands are going to work today. Masculine birthday card, and then some really pretty floral cards. So minimum $35 product order on my website using the host code for the month, and you get the card kit. If you're long distance, we do ask for $4 postage to mail those to you. You can also order the class directly, $15. Come to the in-person class. I believe it's July 12th. It's the second Wednesday of the month at 3. Or $4 postage to mail it to you. You also receive a full color PDF. And I did do these cards a couple weeks ago on Sunday night, so you can go back and watch the video when you get the kits if you're not able to attend in person to help you put the cards together. The other thing is, if you are coming to the in-person class and you have not notified me yet, I do need to know by end of day tomorrow, because we will start cutting right on the 1st of the month. So please make sure you're letting me know if you're intending to come to the in-person class. I cut the kits differently, right? For the in-person versus the pickup, porch pickup, and or long distance. So I do need to know whether you're intending. I know the long distance folks aren't. So if you're local to me and you are not coming to the class, or you are coming to the class, either way, please let me know. All right, I think that is everything I had to share with you. We are going to play with the inked and tiled stamp set. So Lori did one of those cute little ideas like, oh, I'm not sure I would use those punches. So I didn't get the punches. I didn't get the bundle. And now Lori regrets that. Did you ever do that? So yes, sometimes I think I'm not probably going to use those, so I'm just going to grab that stamp set and then daggone it, I want the punches. So this is what the stamp set looks like. It of course goes with the Ink Botanical Designer Series paper, which is beautiful, right? And we are going to play with a little bit of that. We're also going to play with some delightful eclectic in these designs. And here's our first project. It's a little fun fold, little front flap card there we have going on. And I'm really hoping that I did a decent job of putting these kits back together because I've been on a design craze the last couple of days. And I'm usually happy if I get 3 cards designed. And in the last couple of days, I've designed 14 cards. The last 2 days, I've designed 14 cards. So you got to take advantage of the mojo when it hits, right? All right, so there is our card front. It is Lost Lagoon, of course. And then we're going to be using Very Vanilla with this particular designer series paper because that is the color that is in the designer paper. I'm seeing red already and I haven't even started on my tape dispenser. Not that I'm upset. So we're going to go ahead and mount this. This is going to go on our front flap. Anybody have big plans for the weekend? And then I did use the Countryside in dies to die cut our layers. So we have Calypso Coral. We have a piece of that beautiful designer series paper. It has Pool Party, Lost Lagoon, Petal Pink, Crushed Curry. I think those are the colors that are in it. I love the sketchiness of it. Not only the paper, but you can see that sketchiness comes back through in the stamps as well. I'm going to go ahead and stamp our images. Of course, the little flower comes from the Inked and Tiled. Oh, I know what I forgot. The winner of our cards from Sunday night, right? Using Lost Lagoon with that image, and then we're going to bring in the Calypso Coral for the Thinking of You. And the Thinking of You comes from the Layering Leaf set. These greetings are great, and I love the font and I love the size of them. Sometimes you want a greeting that's just has a little bit more substance or size to it, if you will, to fill in some white space that you might have on your project. And this stamp set definitely meets that requirement. Okay, so that's going to go right there. You can see I got my nails done for the 4th, very festive. We're actually celebrating on Sunday evening for the holiday. So I may or may not be on Sunday night, guys. I will post if I'm going to be on. So make sure you check my page to be notified. Just depends on how the evening goes. Because it's here. I'm hosting. Hi, Cheryl. I'm hosting. So it might be a little hard to tear away. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm going to grab a piece of scrap and we're going to stamp this cute little edge here that I've got going on. Give myself a little room. I'm really trying to figure out why I have an embossing folder in this kit because I did not use it. So I'm not sure. I'll be looking for that in a couple of minutes, probably on the next project kit is what I'm guessing. All right, so just to get my spacing right, I start in the center. I'm using Calypso Coral. I'm going to start in the center. And then I'm just going to do the top edge. Oh, that's really more than I wanted there. And the top and the bottom. And then I'm going to clean the stamp. Hey, Carol Kaufman, thank you. Hey, thanks, Cheryl. We're going to bring in Lost Lagoon. And just add those. So, and you know what I thought, and let's stamp one of those here. I don't know, in my head, if you did them in the right colors, hey Sheila, thank you. It could almost look like fireworks, that image, right? Those ones that explode in the sky. They're my favorite. I just don't like the bangs. The older I get, the less I like the bangs. And then I just left the rest of the card blank so you can write your own message in there. Quick and easy. We're going to add some bling. This is the Tinsel Gems 3-pack. This and the Tinsel Gems 4-pack seem to be my go-to gems right now. I grab for them all the time, it seems like. They come in 2 sizes. So we're going to put a large Lost Lagoon down there in the corner, and then we're going to pick up 2 small ones. Does that look crooked to you? It looks crooked to me. Could be me. And I'm going to dot one of the eyes. And there is our triangle, as I always try to do for the effect, or the visual effect, I should say. And there we go. Project number 1. I do love the Lost Lagoon and Calypso Coral together. I think it's very pretty. Okay. What I forgot to mention when we started was the winner of our cards from Sunday night, and that is Janine Fortney. So congratulations, Janine, and thank you for watching and commenting. And I will put these over here because I'm going to see you tomorrow. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. All right. So I'm going to put these back here and I'll bring them along. We have a team meeting tomorrow night, so I'll bring them along for you. All right, let's go on to the second project. Don't forget, guys, to give me a like, a love, a comment, and certainly follow me if you're not. You get entered into the drawing for the projects that I make by doing those things. So, all right, here is, sorry, my voice. Here's our next one. How cute is this? And this is using the nested label dies, and I have to grab those because I know they're in a kit for tomorrow, I think, or no, for Sunday. So the nested essential, I said nested labels, they're nested essentials. Well, you know, Sheila. Hi, Corinne, thank you. Look how cool these are. So you get 4 sizes in 3 different patterns: banners, the rectangles with the rounded corners, and then I don't know what you call these, but I like them. And I thought it worked perfectly for a long image to mount it and stamp it that direction, right? So great set. They definitely, you know, just like they said, the go-to gradings, and I always say they named that right. I think these nested essentials, I think they named that right too. All right, so we're using Old Olive and Real Red, and no, it's not a Christmas card. I always get nervous when I do that because I think, ooh, it's going to look Christmassy, but I don't think that does. I don't think that does. 5.5 by 8.5 is our card base. And then we have a 5 3/8 by 4 1/8 layer of Old Olive. And then this should be 4 1/4, no, 4 by 5 1/4. We're going to run that through. Oh, I've got pieces and parts flying over here. We're going to run that through our embossing folder. This is the Hobnail embossing folder from the Basics 3D folders. This is part of the online exclusives. So there is our layer. Now we don't have pop. I said Real Red, right? No, this is Poppy Parade. I'm sorry. I said Real Red. It's Poppy Parade. Like, wait, why did I do it this way? Because I know we do have real red ribbon. So I'm going to show you how I created the ribbon. Let me get these layers mounted. Oh, and before I mount this, because you know I'm all about saving paper. I like that embossing folder too. Good morning, Donna. So we are going to take, I think it is it the third one? Might be the biggest one. Let's see. Lori can't remember what she did. There we go. It is the biggest one. So I'm going to cut that right out of the layer of old olive and save myself some paper, right? Why not? So I'm going to put that over on my die cutting machine. And now this is a good size, so I do want to make sure I keep it centered so that it's not too close to the top edge, that you would see it, especially if you had a smaller layer going on the top. That would be bad, but because we have the 1/8 inch border on our layer, we'll be fine. And then there is our piece that is going to mount behind our white layer. So we're going to go ahead and pull that die out while we're in here. I'm telling you, this tape, whew. I don't have, my cards don't fall apart with seal, but I remember when we had snail, we all used to wish we sold that tape because man, oh man. All right, we're going to go ahead and put this on here. And I'm going to pick it up since I did that because I'm pretty sure I have tape going right down the center. And let's grab the, there it is, silicone pad. So I can try to do that a little better. Oh, good. Hey, Cindy. Good. Cindy, there, just in case I'm gone, there is something in the box that I think you left down at Mom's. I think it was yours anyway. If not, just leave it there and I'll give it to the next person I think it might belong to. Yes, it is. Well, and it saves you paper and it saves you weight. So if you're making a really multi-layered project, right, it's good to save a little bit of weight as well. All right, so I'm using I think this is the Sahara sand that comes in the old olive pack. And I simply colored it with my blend. I did it with the bullet tip. You know, I'm a big bullet tip user. So all I did is just go over it. Let me show you where it's not colored. How about that? Now, because I'm not going to, this is just to go up the side of the card. I don't have to worry. It does bleed through, not completely. So if you wanted something that was double-sided for some reason, you could absolutely bleed it through more, or just flip it over and do the other side, right? Just that quickly and easily. But don't use your brush tip on your blends, or if you're doing this with your Stampin' Right marker, don't do it there because you will destroy that brush tip in a heartbeat, right? All right, so, and again, it is the Stampin' Right blend, so consequently it dries practically immediately. So I don't have to worry about it smearing on my card as I mount it. And if you don't happen to have all the Stampin' Right blends yet, and so you don't have the Poppy Parade or the color that you want to work with, you can do the same thing. Looking for my scissors, there they are. You can do the same thing with a sponge dauber and an ink pad. So, and I don't have a sponge dauber here, but you would lay this down, right? Lay this down on your ink pad, hold it with your sponge dauber, and then pull it. And I can't do it with my fingers or I'll have ink all over me, and then that will get on my card. But that way you can color it as well, okay? So just hold it down on the ink pad with the sponge dauber and pull the cut end up, and it will ink your ribbon for you. The problem, I lied, I do have a sponge dauber. The problem with that is it will not dry quickly. So you're going to want to let it sit at least overnight, and I would test it on cardstock before you mounted it to your card, just to make sure that it had dried and it wasn't going to bleed out where you didn't want it, right? So there's two ways to color your ribbons. And obviously it works better with the lighter colored ribbons than darker colored ribbons are going to really take the color very well. Okay, there is our other piece that we need. So again, that was the nested essential labels I used to do that. So now I have this beautiful image from our inked and tiled stamp set. And we are going to bring in our Poppy Parade and our Old Olive. Because what I'm going to do is, using a sponge dauber, so I did have them, ink this up and add the ink. And then I'm going to get my Old Olive out. And we do sell the sponge daubers. I think they come in a pack of 5. So this is how you get multicolor. You could do it with a marker, a regular Stampin' Write marker, the brush tip on a marker. You could do it that way as well. I think this gives us a little bit more saturation, if you will. Okay, so I think we're going to stop there and see how it goes. And I need that scrap paper again, because this is going to go off the bottom edge. And I'm going to twist it so that I can get most of both of the flowers on here. And the stem is coming off the bottom, right? Because I didn't want to drop it down to the center. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love that. I love that effect. I love that sketchiness of the design of the stamp. So pretty. I'm gonna mount that right there. And now, since I've got my ribbon on, I can go ahead and mount this to my card front. I always go over the ends of my ribbon too, just to make sure that they don't release. I did color and pre-tie my bow, so I have that ready to pop on there. This is going to come right here. And then, hopefully, yay, I've got the Just a Note stamp that I'm going to do in the Poppy Parade as well. Oh, the other thing with your sponge daubers, what I do, and I have a labeler now, so I've started using my labeler, but in the pre-labeler days, I used address labels and I cut them down and I just wrote the color on them and then wrapped it around there. And that way, because when you're looking at that, you have no idea what color that is. And don't wash them out, because over time you'll just degrade the sponge itself, or it may even pop off the base because you'll get the adhesive wet. But that way you always know what color that is and what color you want to use it in. So that's a little storage tip as well. I just created that Poppy Parade one, so I didn't take the time to label that one yet, but I will before I put it away. Saves you money in the long run, because otherwise you're probably recreating the same color that you already have. Just a Note. And then we're just going to pop that up with dimensional. Let's get this mounted before we try to mount our greeting. Okay. And we're going to line this up with the edge of the old olive, just overlap a little bit. And then I needed some bling, right? Got to have a little bit of bling on here. So my brushed brass butterflies, it's always a tongue twister for me. I'm gonna see if I can get him on there in the correct orientation. There we go. And that one flipped. There we go. We'll put that one right there. And one more down here in the corner. And I think I did the same thing on the inside. Let's see. Yes, I did. So we're going to grab the scrap paper again, and we're going to just repeat that technique one last time with our sponge daubers and our ink pads. It's cheery. I like the colors. Like I said, I don't think it looks too Christmassy with the red and the green, or the poppy parade in the green, I should say. Yes, I mean, a couple different techniques on there, coloring your ribbon, using the sponge daubers on your flower, but not hard at all. And doesn't take a lot of time. And a little money saving tip too. This one has it all going on, right? Simple, cute, and easy. Oh, there's a butterfly. Look, he's flying around. The other thing is too, if somehow you got interrupted or you were, delayed and stamping this once you had it inked, remember to do your DVB, your Darth Vader breathing, right? And that reactivates the ink, remoistens the ink. So we're just going to put that right here on the edge. Ties your card front into the inside of your card. And then I would do the same thing on the bottom of the envelope. So if you're somebody that does your envelopes at the same time you do your card, you could stamp that in the bottom left corner on the front of your envelope, and you'd have a complete package. We need a glue dot for our ribbon, and this card is done. I love the stamp set too. I did, when I saw it, I loved the paper right away, but when I saw the stamp set, I'm like, oh, that was another one of those. I don't think I need the stamp set. So then I had to have the stamp set. Now I don't think I need the punches. I didn't order the punches. Now I want the punches. This one's getting me. Coming and going, it's getting me. And there we go. All right, so there is our second project. A cute, could be a thinking of you card. That could even be a sympathy card. Whatever you needed, right? Those are the good things to have on hand because you never know what you're going to need, and you can just grab something like that and you're ready to go. All right, let me clean the stamps because I'm going to need them for the next project, I think. At least the one I am. Shaking the table. Sorry, guys. All right, these are here. See, I had a backup piece of old olive just in case I forgot to die cut it. Because, sometimes you get rolling and you do forget. Hey, Jen. All right, and then our last one. So none of these cards take a lot of time. About some black and white. We haven't done black and white for a while, and this one is truly black and white. There's not even a pop of color on this one. It is black and white. This particular piece of designer series paper that is backing it mimics the punch, right? One of the two punches that comes in the bundle. if you're smart enough to order the bundle. Um, but it is from the delightfully eclectic pack. That's the 48 sheet pack of 12 by 12. So it was the perfect design to use with this set. So we have just a 5.5 by 8.5 again. Scored at 4 1/4. This is our thick basic white. I love the thick basic white because it's thicker. Ha ha. That's the name, right? More sturdy. Let's call it that. It's sturdier than our thin. So when you make it as a card base, this gives you a little bit more body to your actual project. All right, so we're going to go ahead and mount to a layer of basic black. It's got little swans on the opposite side. I don't know, I might have to grab another pack of this before that sale goes away. I do like this paper, and I think I'm down to less than, I think I only have partial sheets of all of it left. This can just go right on our card front. Then I have just a smaller layer of the basic white. Didn't I tell you I was going to be looking for that embossing folder? It just got into the wrong box. And we're going to use the Country Blossoms embossing folder for this. We're really just going to need the little edges, but I didn't really feel like messing around with 1/2 inch strips or anything like that. So I'm just doing a full little section here. That is not a 3D folder. Did I say it was a 3D folder? So if you have embossing folders that are not 3D, your sandwich is a little different. It is your base platform, and it is a cutting pad. It's your folder at the top, or at the folder with the fold at the top, and then the other cutting pad. That's your sandwich. You do not need a specialty plate for non-3D embossing folders. So that's just going to go in the center, just peeking out behind our strip of basic black. Could also use the cane embossing folder on that. That would be pretty. Depends on how much depth you want, right? So we are going to emboss. I'm grabbing my embossing buddy, so you know I always forget that. Always forget that. And some Versamark. Now this is a longer stamp, so I am going to take the Versamark to the stamp versus the stamp to the Versamark, because I want to make sure I have coverage everywhere, leaves, flower, all that. This will fit on our piece, but we'll keep it close to the bottom. Can't see it until we do the magic, right? That came out really nice. And I keep a little paintbrush just handy in case there's a stray mark or two of the embossing powder. I'll lay that to the side while I put this back in. Because Lori will dump it otherwise. Put that back in its little space that I have for it. Okay, we're going to heat set this. And again, hopefully the gun sound goes away. Cracks me up that it does that. I hold it in one spot until I see it start to melt. And white on black is pretty easy to see. There we go. You can see it becomes a little more solid, not as powdery looking. And then once it's all done, I just go all over it for a second or two for good measure. Okay, and I did miss 2 little specks, but I think our grading will hide it. Gonna go ahead and mount the embossed piece. This is going to go on with dimensionals. And I just figured out that black circle that was laying on my table that I threw away yesterday because I didn't know what it came from, went for this kit. So I don't have the happy birthday here. Or I don't have the circle to do the happy birthday. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mount this. This should go. Oh, it's way too long. Let's trim that down. What did I do? I was going to say this should go to the 5 1/4 mark. See if this works out. Oh, there we go. Center that white behind it. Okay. And then I'm using the silver trim that is the compatriot of the gold trim that you get with the frame art for the Double Down Saturday Christmas in July class. And I just designed a little bow to go right down here on the stem with a glue dot. We'll take the bow to the knot. How about that? Okay. So if I had my little black circle here, I would heat emboss the happy birthday that comes from the stamp set in the basic white and pop that up here. Now I would just put adhesive behind the left side and a dimensional on the right side so that it was flat, right? But here's my new obsession. Look at these. This is the adhesive backed sparkle gems in the annual catalog. Oh my goodness. You get the black, the silver, and the gold, and I'm in love with these. I can't stop playing with them. They are fabulous. They're going to be great for Christmas. Imagine they'll sell out. So if you like them, maybe grab them now. You've got 2 sizes, right? In the 3 colors. So we're going to grab a large one and pop that up here along with a small one. And then I would put one on the bottom of the greeting, one of the larger ones on the bottom of the greeting. But I love black and white. I love playing with black and white, and heat embossing is such a wow. So many stampers will tell you that, and then I didn't even put anything on the inside of this thing. So many stampers will tell you that when they went to their first party, heat embossing is what hooked them, right? Because there's just nothing like it. Until you've seen it, you're like, wow. And that's really what they say. All right, so there is project number 3, project number 2, and project number 1. I hope you like those. That is the inked and tiled bundle that is in the annual catalog. It's not the bundle, it's actually just the stamp set, because Lori thought she didn't need those punches. And you're going to find that on page 95 in case you're not sure what those punches look like. Let me see if I can open up to the punches and show you, because they are unique. They mimic that pattern paper that I used today, mimics the one punch. No, of course not. That would be silly. There they are. So right there, the bundle itself is on page 95. These are the punches. So you get kind of like a little starburst or starburst or two squares that are offset is how I see it, right? And then the X with the points as the punches. All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in this morning. I appreciate it. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, share the video, thumbs up or like or love. I never know where I'm at. And subscribe or follow me, depending upon where you're watching. I will let you know if I'm going to be on Sunday night. I have projects designed. So if we don't do them Sunday night, we'll do them the following Sunday. But depending on how my evening is going, I may or may not be able to break away to do a live. And I definitely will not be live on July 4th over on YouTube. So the next time I will see you, if we don't see you here Sunday night, is next Thursday at 10 for another coffee and cards. Have a great holiday. Be safe, especially if you're traveling. Find your earplugs if you're like me and you don't like the booms. And I'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.